The things I like to do is, you close this hood, someone walks by, and you're just like, that's a cool bird. You open the hood, you're like, holy shit. Humberto Ortiz, I'm out of Lubbock, Texas. That's, West Texas. And I've been doing this 17 years, going on 18. Man, I started my business in 2003. So yeah, I've got a few years under my belt. The name of the shop is Vulcan Specialties. So, I specialized a lot in metal fab. I started doing a lot of race car stuff. So it was mostly chassis, roll cages, narrow rim, safety equipment. And I was always a sport truck kind of guy. So it was lowering kits, lifting trucks, accessory kind of stuff. But I specialized in that metal fab, and I kind of tried to hone the craft and just gaining more knowledge on that. And as I got more knowledge, I gained more customer base, and eventually went where I had to start taking in full builds, restos to full chassis builds on race cars all the way through. So my background goes, if you ask me, where'd you get this itch from? It was my dad. My dad was a product of the muscle craze in the 60s. So, it's in my blood. I can't help it. I've got an older brother. It's in both of us. He chose a different route. I chose wrenches. And I've been young when I was doing this. And it started off, my background's a little bit different. I was going towards law school, and I had an internship, took my LSATs, found out a lot of information. I didn't like it. So I started going backwards and thinking, man, I'm not gonna do higher education. I'm not gonna go for, another 4-year term, $100,000, and not know if I really want to do this. And I made a lot of good friends, that were attorneys, that worked for the state, and I had doubts. And for the first year in my education, career, I didn't know if that's really what I wanted to do. So I started falling back on my hobbies, which was cars and wrenching. My dad and I did a full restoration on a 55 Bel Air. That was my first car, it was my high school car. Pro Street, this is the late 90s, so Pro Street look, big meats in the back, skinnies in the front, candy red. I still have that guy. That car's family to me. It's not going anywhere. But more modern and more updated. I just finished about 4 years ago my own personal truck. It's a 85 D350 crew cab, Cummins swapped Dodge dually. So it's slammed on the ground. Again, it's got those hot rod touches. It's got the just dripping red leather interior. It's got red line tires on it. It's got a little bit of a rake to it. It's got an updated 12-valve Cummins engine in it, and it's just super tech meets retro. I've driven that truck across the country. I've gone from Arizona to Iowa in it. I clocked about 12,000 miles in that truck in 1 year, from November to November, doing what I did back in '03. I built the truck for myself as my calling card. Bar none, my favorite build. Me and my dad got deep into that build. My dad did always construction, but he was always there to help me when I was still solo. So I was just having a conversation yesterday with a guy. We're out here tooling around looking at a car, and we're talking about dads and the role reversal you have. And I'd imagine I'm gonna go through that one day. So you have that role reversal where you're teaching a young one, and before you know it, the young one's teaching you. And my dad was stubborn as I was, and we gave the totals a run for the money on drama TV every now and then. The role model, he's not your best friend, he's there to knock your head in, you know what I mean? But he's not always gonna knock your head in, he's gonna be your best friend. So he's that kind of guy. Unfortunately, I lost my dad a year ago. So that kind of build on my Dodge is super special to me. That was one of those he clocked in a lot of hours with me, late night in the shops, and he got to reap the benefits with me. We did the debut at LST in 17. We got a Good Guys pick, Truck of the Year in 18. So he was there to share that.